Hello and welcome. My name is Nate from Video Games Recon, and in this video we're going to be discussing my top 10 most interesting games or things from the 2015 E3 conferences, within which I will try to be as unbiased as possible in terms of platform, even though I don't currently game on all platforms. Also, I will attempt to use as much footage as possible from the conferences, even though that could mean multiple video edits with the way YouTube handles copyright claims, and in many cases I may need to revert to just using screenshots. Also, as per usual, this is just my humble opinion on the things that excite me most from this year's E3. So whether you agree or not, feel free to post the things you're most hyped for in the comments. Anywho, without any further ado, let's do it to it. 10. Star Wars Battlefront. I know, Star Wars Battlefront only at number 10. I'm sure this is at least top 3 in a bunch of people's lists, but you can't play every game in the world, and this series is one of those that has passed me by. That said, I get it. It looks good, is on a good engine, and is set in the Star Wars universe. Enough said. Whether this game will actually be any good is a bit of a gamble, as it's being made by DICE, and seemingly in a short period of time. So it will probably be a fun game, but after the whole Battlefield 4 debacle, whether it will actually work or not on release will be up for debate. 9. Xbox One's backwards compatibility. This one is obviously not a game, and more of a feature. But what a feature. This is a real 2 fingers up to PlayStation Now, and by the sounds of it, a bit of a technical marvel, as there is no hardware in the Xbox One capable of backwards compatibility, so all of the games are going to be emulated, and from what I understand of it, although it will only feature 100 games at launch, month on month they will be able to update to this list with lots of games on a regular basis. And on top of this, cross-platform multiplayer between the 360 and Xbox One may be possible, and any game you previously owned, be it disc or digital, will now be available to play on the Xbox One for free. Not gonna lie, for being only a PS4 owner at the moment, I'm a bit jealous. 8. The Last Guardian. This game has been in development hell for years and has been in production to some degree since 2007, and being eagerly anticipated by gamers since its reveal in 2009 as the spiritual successor to Ico and the Shadow of Colossus. But even though looking hella cool, roaming around the place with your giant bird dog thing, this game managed to disappear from public consciousness due to all the development issues. Many thought never to see the light of day again. But thankfully this interesting game has been brought back from the dead and will finally be getting a 2016 release. 7. Horizon Zero Dawn. This new IP made by the company that makes Killzone is that rare of things. A new AAA intellectual property that didn't leak and that no one has ever heard of. This thing blindsided most people, and in a good way, as this post-apocalyptic tribal world looks vast, beautiful, and a lot of fun. Oh, and did I mention, it has giant robot dinosaurs. Need I go on? 6. No Man's Sky. This game looks amazing, both in terms of aesthetics and scale, as you can roam the universe and discover new worlds and life forms that no one in the real world has. That's just how big this game actually is. I can only presume this is possible due to being a procedurally generated universe. Anyway, the things possible in this world look near boundless. That said, they need to stop showing this game, at least until it's available for the media to really sink their teeth into, as I'm not sure how the game part of this universe will work, with the developer being unable to explain this succinctly. As if it were to play something like Elite Dangerous, for example, then why not just say so? Which leads me to think this game has a more ambitious game mechanic at its heart, which if not careful could overreach. So although looks amazing, please stop showing it until it's ready, as it's making me want to depart the hype train, and due to this is only number 6 in my list. 5. Kingdom Hearts 3. This franchise needs no introduction. The fans of this game have been waiting a long time for a full sequel to the Kingdom Hearts series, and about time in my book, as I'm sick of hearing about all the weird mobile games and remasters, as every couple of years they seem to bring out a new iteration of this series.
This year we are glad to announce our new Kingdom Hearts 2.5 3/4 Super Elite HD Remaster Edition version with a Redux Mark 1 Director's Cut tribute.
In all seriousness, finally a reason to be hyped about Kingdom Hearts again. I just hope they don't make us wait too long, because I think we've waited long enough. 4. The HoloLens. At first, when they started talking about the HoloLens, I was thinking now might be a good time to go for a pee break, as VR and AR are notoriously difficult to demo and not always that interesting to watch, and it seemed like this would be more of the same. But when they took that image of Minecraft off the wall and placed a 3D environment on that coffee table, it just blew me away. It's one of those moments where you start to think the future is here now. This was some straight up Minority Report shit, just with Minecraft Steve and Zombie Pigman. And for someone who gets really bad motion sickness, the HoloLens may well be the only virtual or augmented reality I can get invested in. 3. The Division. This is a game I've been waiting for with some trepidation for quite a while now, but which I am cautiously optimistic about. This is another one of those genre-defying games, having shooter elements, RPG elements, PvP, co-op and so on, and being based in an interesting post-apocalyptic environment with a seemingly engaging story. The only real game to compare this to is Destiny, which I kind of have a love-hate relationship with at the moment. I just hope they've learnt from both Destiny's mistakes and successes and make that perfect blend of genres we've all been waiting for. 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake. This was a difficult choice, as I, like many old school Final Fantasy fans, have been waiting for this game with no real hope of getting it for years. This is one of those beautiful surprises that everybody hoped for but no one really expected. That said, due to the saturation of substandard titles in this franchise and new additions in the works that didn't really seem to speak to an old school fan like myself, I've fallen out of love with this series, and thus why this announcement isn't number 1 on my list. That said, if any game can reignite my passion for this franchise, it has to be the game that started it all for me, Final Fantasy VII. I think it's time to buy my ticket to board the hype train. I just hope Square Enix isn't its usual self and makes us wait 5 years or more for this game to actually arrive at the station. Before we get onto our number 1 in this list, here are a few honourable mentions in no particular order. South Park, Fractured Butthole. This announcement surprised everybody, as the creators of South Park had previously stated that they would never be making a South Park game again. But after the critical and commercial success of The Stick of Truth and their new understanding of game development, they have decided to do a very welcome U-turn. Mario Maker. Come on, who hasn't at some point in their life imagined what it would be like to build your own Mario level? Now that dream has become a reality, and God knows Nintendo fans need to be able to dream right now with the wind down of the Wii U. Fallout 4 mods being available on the Xbox One. Man, Microsoft are really hitting those features out of the park at the moment. And this is something that console players have wanted for years, but never really thought they'd get. And don't distress if you're a PS4 fan, as the rumour is that Bethesda is also trying to bring mods to PS4 at some point. Whether this will be possible or not, who knows, but from what I hear it's something they're working on. Dreams. This trippy and freaky game may not ring a lot of bells for the average gamer, as it's hard to see what the game is, but for a content creator like myself, the possibilities with this could be endless, and might be a quick and easy way to create intros, animations and similar. Star Fox. This is another franchise I'm not all that into, but I know a lot of people are, and from what I've seen it looks pretty cool. And Nintendo needs all the good quality games it can get its hands on at the moment. Mass Effect Andromeda. Again, not a franchise I'm all that familiar with, but I've heard nothing but good things about those games and I'm interested to hear more about it. Hopefully it will be a good game to introduce newbies like myself into the series. Mirror's Edge 2. This long-awaited game looks great both in terms of story and gameplay. And although I preferred the more minimal aesthetic to the first game, I appreciate that they need to bring this game kicking and screaming into 2015, as the previous game, although a critical success, did not sell all that well. But I have faith that they've learned from their mistakes and this game is going to be great. Cuphead. This indie platformer game looks awesome and very original. I mean, look at it, it's like playing a 1930s Steamboat Willie cartoon, except with cup people who've sold their souls to the devil. If that doesn't sound cool to you, you need to get your head checked. So, with that, it's time for my best game or feature of E3 2015. Number 1 and the top spot on my list goes to the one and only Fallout 4. Honestly, it could only have been two things. And due to this being a franchise that is still beloved to me, and with all the cool things in this game announced that we're going to discuss in a minute, it had to be Fallout 4. These games are as spectacular to explore as they are daunting by all the possibilities available, and this game is going to be no different. Not only does it have all the things it did before, but now on top of that, it has colourful and different landscapes, and in my opinion, beautiful graphics. Well, for a Fallout game anyway. Extensive weapon crafting and the amazing looking settlement building inspired by things like Minecraft. I don't know about you guys, but I've got a feeling I'm going to be spending as much time with the quests as I am building up my shabby little empire. Also, I'm super stoked about all the cool collectibles like the music and retro game tapes. You know I'm going to be hunting all those beauties down. And this is just the things we know about. And all this wrapped up nicely in a fall 2015 release date. So this isn't like a bunch of other E3 announcements where we're going to have to wait 8 months, a year, 2 years, etc. for a release. This game will be out in a few months. I don't know about you, but I'm officially aboard first class on this hype train. So, that was my favourite game or feature from E3 2015. What was yours? This just leaves me to say if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more BS of a similar nature. Thank you and goodbye.